What role did bayonet charges play in Civil War assaults? Have you ever wondered how soldiers charged into battle with fixed bayonets during the American Civil War? Bayonet charges were a key tactic used by infantrymen, and they played an interesting role in the conflict. Let's take a closer look at how these charges were employed and their impact on the battlefield. Bayonet charges involved soldiers attaching bayonets to their rifles and rushing toward the enemy. This tactic was rooted in earlier military strategies, particularly those from the Napoleonic Wars. The bayonet was seen as a shock weapon, meant to disrupt enemy formations and create chaos. However, as the Civil War progressed, the effectiveness of this tactic began to wane due to advancements in firearms technology. Originally, bayonets were designed as hunting knives. By the time of the Civil War, they were attached to rifled muskets, which allowed for more accurate long-range shooting. This shift meant that infantrymen relied less on close combat and more on their ability to shoot from a distance. As a result, bayonet charges became less common. Despite their limited success, bayonet charges had a psychological impact on the battlefield. The sight of soldiers advancing with fixed bayonets could intimidate enemy troops. This fear sometimes led to retreats or disorganization among opposing forces. However, the reality was that massed bayonet charges often resulted in heavy casualties, especially when facing well-prepared opponents. One notable example of a successful bayonet charge occurred during the Battle of Gettysburg. The 20th Maine Regiment executed a charge at Little Round Top, which proved effective due to the challenging terrain and the desperate situation they faced. This charge is often highlighted as a rare success story in the context of bayonet tactics. As the war continued, military strategies evolved. Emphasis shifted toward ranged engagements and the use of concentrated firepower. New technologies, such as repeating rifles and machine guns, further diminished the role of bayonets in combat. By the late 19th century, bayonets had become shorter and more knife-like, reflecting their reduced importance in direct confrontations. In summary, bayonet charges during the American Civil War served more as a psychological tool than a practical combat tactic. While they were influenced by earlier military doctrines, advancements in weaponry significantly limited their effectiveness. The legacy of bayonets in this conflict illustrates the changing nature of warfare and how military strategies adapted to new technologies.